HBO's The Last of Us series has evolved into one of the most talked-about adaptations in television history, drawing from the critically acclaimed video game franchise created by Naughty Dog. Originally released in 2013 for the PlayStation 3, The Last of Us game followed Joel, a hardened survivor, as he escorted Ellie, a young girl who may hold the key to saving humanity, across a devastated, post-apocalyptic America ravaged by a fungal infection known as cordyceps. The story was lauded for its emotional storytelling, complex characters, and cinematic presentation, making it ripe for adaptation. In 2020, the sequel The Last of Us Part 2 launched, shifting focus to Ellie and her harrowing journey through loss, vengeance, and self-discovery, expanding on the first game's moral ambiguity and emotional depth. It's no surprise that when HBO and executive producers Craig Mazin, of Chernobyl, and Neil Druckmann, the co-creator of the game, teamed up to bring the story to the small screen, anticipation skyrocketed. So if you're a fan of the game, the show, or just powerful storytelling, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives, reviews, and breakdowns. Now, let's get into it. The HBO series debuted in early 2023 and closely followed the plot of the first game in its 9-episode first season. Viewers were introduced to a bleak and dangerous world where Joel, Pedro Pascal, and Ellie, Bella Ramsey, navigated a broken society filled with ruthless survivors and deadly infected creatures. The first season climaxed with the controversial but faithful recreation of the game's finale, Joel's decision to save Ellie from a surgery that could have led to a cure, killing members of the Fireflies in the process, including their surgeon. This act of love and selfishness sets the philosophical tone that echoes deeply into Season 2. Season 2, which premiered in April 2025, dives into the events of The Last of Us Part 2, and the show does not shy away from the game's bold narrative structure. The early episodes immediately throw the audience into chaos with the shocking and brutal death of Joel at the hands of Abby, a new character whose motivations are gradually revealed. This divisive storytelling decision was true to the game and deeply controversial among fans, who found themselves either impressed by the narrative risks or disillusioned by the departure from traditional storytelling expectations. Ellie's grief and desire for vengeance become the central emotional thread of the season, as she sets off on a violent path that mirrors and challenges the very actions that ended Joel's life. Through flashbacks, emotional confrontations, and bleak choices, viewers see Ellie grapple with the very nature of justice and forgiveness, and whether revenge can ever bring peace. A central point of contention within the fanbase has been the casting of Bella Ramsey as Ellie. Although Ramsey has earned praise from critics for her raw, emotional performance, a vocal portion of the gaming community criticized the casting from the beginning, primarily due to physical differences between Ramsey and the in-game Ellie, who was originally modeled with a more conventionally teenage Hollywood appearance. Some viewers have said that Bella doesn't look like Ellie and questioned whether she could convincingly portray the emotionally complex, hardened version of the character that Part 2 demands. Despite the negativity, Ramsey's performance in Season 2 has been highlighted as one of the most emotionally resonant aspects of the show, bringing layers of vulnerability, rage, and sorrow to Ellie's descent into darkness. Still, the online backlash points to the often complicated dynamic between fan expectations and adaptation choices. Production-wise, Season 2 of The Last of Us represents one of the most ambitious television projects in HBO's lineup. Filming took place across multiple Canadian provinces, including Alberta and British Columbia, turning urban centers into convincingly decayed cities overtaken by nature. Each episode is estimated to have cost over $10 million to produce, with some episodes, particularly the ones involving large infected encounters and flashback sequences, reaching even higher budgets. Directors such as Mark Mylod, Kate Herron, and Nino Lopez Corrado brought their visual storytelling prowess to various episodes, while showrunners Druckmann and Mazin stayed at the creative helm, ensuring consistency in tone and direction. Special effects, both practical and digital, were ramped up in Season 2, particularly for scenes involving clickers, bloaters, and new variants of infected not seen in the first season, staying true to the game while enhancing the horror elements for TV. The series has continued to receive critical acclaim, with Season 2 holding a 95% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes and scoring in the low 80s on Metacritic. Critics have particularly praised the show's commitment to honoring the emotional weight of the source material while also expanding certain elements to give supporting characters more depth. Flashback sequences such as Joel's birthday and Ellie's time with Dina have provided tender moments of calm and heartbreak in a story otherwise dominated by violence and tragedy. Fans have expressed mixed reactions online, particularly about the pacing. Some episodes slow down significantly to dwell in character introspection, but others have applauded this focus as what sets the series apart from more action-heavy post-apocalyptic fare. As for the future, The Last of Us has already been renewed for a third season. Creators have confirmed that the events of Part 2 will be spread across multiple seasons, possibly even 3, given the game's density and non-linear narrative structure. This is seen as a positive sign, as it suggests the creators are taking their time to do justice to every emotional beat and character arc. There is also speculation about the series continuing beyond the events of Part 2 with potential original content, though nothing has been officially announced. The involvement of both Druckmann and Mazin remains key to maintaining the balance between the video game roots and the demands of serialized storytelling. In conclusion, The Last of Us Season 2 has proven to be as ambitious, emotionally devastating, and narratively daring as its source material. The series not only respects the legacy of the games but also carves its own identity through powerful performances, rich production design, and fearless storytelling. Despite the controversies around casting and creative choices, the show continues to be a cultural force, sparking debate, admiration, and emotional investment. Whether fans agree with every decision or not, it's clear that The Last of Us is more than just an adaptation. It's a modern epic exploring the best and worst of humanity, survival, and the high cost of love.